Well, so this is going to be a fun one to do, and that is a review of Dawn of the Beast. So, what is Dawn of the Beast? This is a movie that got my attention about late February, March or so, and the movie, like, the premise alone got me. And that premise is, in a nutshell, Bigfoot versus Wendigo. Yeah. Why wasn't this made sooner? Like, you'd think someone else, actually me, why didn't I think of this? As a book, anyway. That's enough. So yeah, this is something you'd think someone with a camera and a budget would do, and that someone turned out to be Uncorked. So Uncorked Entertainment, how do I put this? They're like the Asylum most of the time, but cheaper, if that makes any sense. Like, it's the Uncorked, and same with Wild Eye, is that Uncorked is like the Asylum, but on a much lighter budget. Like, there's an even smaller budget, so you'll be lucky if you get any named actors, whereas Asylum, you'll get, hey, Michael Madsen, or hey, this guy, or hey, this person. Someone who had a career and is now making paycheck to paycheck with Asylum movies. Uncorked, it's totally different. So, Uncorked also can be very hit and miss most of the time, and I do mean they miss more than they hit. There was one movie they did, I think that was them anyway, called Soldier of War, which featured, I forget the actor's name, but he played Gimli in Lord of the Rings, and it's a movie called Soldier of War. It's about this zombie soldier who comes back to the dead and it's like a zombie version of Rambo. It's actually a lot cooler than you'd think. You can go check that out on Amazon, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Dawn of the Beast, this Bigfoot Wendigo movie. And yeah, this is actually, you'll be also interested to know that this is not only a versus movie, this is also a pseudo-shared movie. The director had done a Bigfoot and a Wendigo movie. But don't worry, you don't have to watch those other two movies, the Bigfoot movie being Monstrous, and the Wendigo movie named The Retreat, to get anything about this. It's literally, like, I didn't realize it until I was, like, watching The Retreat and being like, wait, that's the same monster design from Wendigo. I looked it up, it's the same director who did also Monstrous, who's also using the same Bigfoot monster suit for that. That's one thing I will give this, is that they use, like, a cool monster suit. They don't do CGI, thank God, but the suits for both for Bigfoot and the Wendigo minions, I guess you could call them, are actually very well done. I very much like them when you can see them. Oh boy, we're going to talk about this, but yeah. So when I said that this was more like a pseudo shared universe movie, it's more like in the vein of like Bigfoot. Not Bigfoot, excuse me. It's more like Unbreakable and Split, and then how they tie together in Glass. It's kind of like that, where the first two movies don't really interconnect with one another at all until they're like, oh, it's a shared universe, and then boom, third movie. So this would probably be the end of it. This movie, let's talk about the plot. We're almost 4 minutes in. Let's talk about the plot. The plot is focusing around a group of students who are going out into the wilderness to earn a college grade for cryptozoology with their eccentric professor for looking for signs for Bigfoot, but along the way they encounter the Wendigo, the Wendigo is a dark spirit who you barely see, who stands off in the distance and makes people into Wendigos by driving them insane. So yeah, it's the same plot that was used in The Retreat, which again, it does disappear up. The Retreat and Monstrous kind of disappear up their own ass. Like, dude, you're making monster movies. Don't. Like, I understand that you can do, like, cool shit with monster movies, but you're being way too pretentious on this budget, dude. You just need to accept what you're making and go on. And to its credit, Dawn of the Beast does do, like, at least it tries to not vanish up its own ass like The Retreat and Monstrous did. Because here, we actually get... Well, when I say you get to see the monsters, it's kind of like you get to see the monsters in AVP Requiem. Yeah, we're dealing with that. We're dealing with lack of lighting. I don't get it. I really don't get of why you have to make. Why do you have such? Do you just not have faith in your suits? Because they look good. I mean, again, they could look like total shit in when you see them out in the daylight. But like from what I see of them, they actually look really good. Why do you have to obscure it in so much dark? Like, we know you're working on a shoestring budget, my dude. We get it. We understand. We just came for the Bigfoot and Wendigo fights, which, to their credit, it's fun. Like, the fight, when you get to the Bigfoot Wendigo fights, they're actually, like, entertaining. Like, there's legit entertainment to there. But you gotta wade through some stuff. You have really gotta wade through a lot of BS to get there. Because here's a fun fact: this low budget movie has really bad actors. I know. I'm shocked. I am completely bamboozled that we have a group of actors who can't act to save their goddamn lives. It's inconceivable. I thought this was full of all Oscar-worthy actors. It doesn't compute with me. How is this possible? Yeah, I'm being a little too hard on it. But the thing is that at least with this movie, like I said, unlike with Monstrous and The Retreat, especially, I fucking hate The Retreat. It was a Wendigo movie that you can't now. To The Retreat's credit, I'm going to go quickly into The Retreat, but to The Retreat's credit, you can do a psychological horror movie with the Wendigo. That's the whole point of the Wendigo, is that it's a form of psychosis. But does that movie piss me off halfway through the movie? Like I physically, like, I paused the movie and went, do I want to continue after seeing that of that moment? And I continued, and then it was like, so we actually are doing the Wendigo. All right, it's fucking Christ, man. And Monstrous is good. Monstrous was good, but I feel like that movie kind of forgot it was a Bigfoot movie until towards the end. Here, like, you have to go through some bad acting, but when you get to that third act, and keep in mind, I would like to stress that this movie is a little over 80 minutes. Like, this is not a long movie. You're not going to be feeling like, but you might feel it halfway through, I might admit. But when you get to that third act, that's where the fun begins of seeing the Bigfoot Wendigo fights. Although, to be fair, I fully acknowledge that this is not like the fights for Godzilla vs. Kong, so I'm not going to hold it against them too much. But Jesus Christ, turn up the brightness. Oh my God. Is it too much to ask for a if you thought the fight scenes in Godzilla King of the Monsters was like overtly dark, or you clearly have not seen this movie or AVP Requiem. I give this movie a little more credit because I could actually like make out the fights, whereas in AVP Requiem I can't see shit. So good on you, Dawn of the Beast. You gave me you gave me at least a movie I can watch the fights, and I feel like this movie also realizes that, much like with Godzilla vs. Kong, this movie the director at least realized, alright, no one gives a shit about my human characters. They just came to see Bigfoot and the Wendigo fight. I'll give them a Bigfoot and Wendigo fight. There you go. And to its credit, despite the dark scene, some of the fight scenes are a little overly placed dark. It's not bad. Again, I don't want to be too hard on it because I understand the budget especially for Uncorked Entertainment, is shoestring, very thin shoestring at best. So I don't want to be too harsh on it. But yeah, it's got a bit of an Evil Dead feel, which I like. The ending is going to leave you questioning some stuff, but that's just part of the course with this director's past few movies. Also, Lake Artifact is a movie from this guy who was like, this was like his first big movie was Lake Artifact. Lake Artifact. And, that movie sucked. That movie just sucked. But at least, like, I can find good things about Monstrous and The Retreat. I was actually, no joke, when I found out that they were all that these two movies were connected and the director also did Lake Artifact, I was like, it's gonna tie into Lake Artifact, because I really don't want that. I really don't want that. That I don't want that garbage movie in this movie. It's doing good as it is. But yeah. So, would I recommend this? For a guy who enjoys like low budget movies, I'd say give it a shot. It's definitely like worth watching. It's definitely a worth watch movie. You gotta that third act does make up for that towards the end of the second act to the third act onward, does make up for a lot of like the boring characters and the psychological stuff that clearly the director was trying to be like uber edgy at, but failed miserably at the same time, because he thinks he's making like Seven, but not realizing you're making a movie about fucking Bigfoots and Wendigos. So, yeah. But other than that, it's entertaining. I will give it that. Like, that's all I wanted for a Bigfoot and Wendigo low budget Bigfoot Wendigo movie was be entertaining. If anything else, be entertaining. Don't be overtly stupid with your characters. You still deal with dumb characters, and the professor, oh my god, the professor's like overtly over the top. Excuse me. But yeah, he is overtly over the top to the point where it's like, I hope you die. I hope the Wendigos or Bigfoot, like, just eats you. Like, from the legs, like, the legs up, they eat you. Or something. But anyway. So, again, I do recommend this, but this is for, like, I would say if you go into this thinking you're going to see, like, some high-end movie after seeing Godzilla vs. Kong, like another cool versus movie, lower the expectations by about 90%. Drop the expectations super low, and you might have fun with this. So yeah, there you go. That's my review for Dawn of the Beast. Yeah, I'm Mr. Multiverse, and I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.